So who is it?
Handshake, yes. You move now.
Honorable Commissioner, my colleague in council.
I almost addressed it.
Yes.
Correct that.
Congratulations.
The Honorable Commissioner for Education, Honorable Jonathan Obebite, and his dear wife, his counterpart in information, Honorable Daniel Roriso Maxine. Let me stand on existing protocol at this point and just go straight to say, first of all, a big thank you to the Honorable Commissioner for Education for this opportunity to work with these kids. This wasn't just an assignment for you, sir, because from the first day we met at your house to discuss this event, I could see the passion. It wasn't just about doing a job or championing the affairs of a ministry, but I saw the zeal with which you wanted the children to take part in this competition. And even though at times, because of budgetary constraints, you would suggest that you took off certain things from the budget, you insisted and stood your grounds. And instead of slashing the budget, you did like what the National Assembly did. You gave us more money. So we thank you so much for that opportunity. And indeed, it has been a privilege, together with the other members of the committee and the judges who worked with us in this competition. The idea was to have something that coincided with the Children's Day. And I think that the whole timing is just auspicious in the sense that you are only moving into your building, this new building, for the first day today. You could have received anybody else. Anybody else could have been your first visitor to this building. But just as it is in the Bible, about how God has made it possible, that children can have access that even adults cannot have, because the Bible says, "Suffer not these ones to come unto me." These are the first set of people that you are receiving in this office. So I think that it portends good for the ministry, and it also means, the Honorable Commissioner, that those that you report to will henceforth, going forward, even as you are doing this, see you as a child whenever you come with your memo, and they will not refuse you anything in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
We had the competition on yesterday, Sunday, Children's Day. 5 children were selected from the local governments. We worked to the ministry, the secondary school unit in the Ministry of Education, and 5 students were selected from each local government. We wanted the best, and we wanted them to come from the government-owned secondary schools. So they all came from the secondary schools, public secondary schools in the local governments, 5 of them for each local government, 40 in all we're expecting. Sadly, 3 of them from Amasoma didn't show up, so we eventually worked with 37 students who took part in the competition. The theme, of course, was centered around safety in schools, being our collective responsibility. That was the theme that was chosen for the event. And I thought that too, when I went back home and I was watching the national news, I saw that was also prophetic, because both the vice president who spoke yesterday, other state governors who spoke at Children's Day event yesterday, all centered there. Even the Senate president who was at the IDP camp, all spoke about safety and security. So, Your Excellency, Honorable Commissioner, it was as if you are in the spirit. Indeed, you are in the spirit. And so that was the theme. And the judges thought that we wanted everybody to have a level playing field, and let them not have anybody have any upper hand. So the judges decided that they were going to tweak the theme so that the children will all come and be confronted with the question for the essay at the same time. And the essay topic was then "Safety in Our Schools, a Child's Right." And the children had 1 hour to go into the topic. They did the essays. You also came, saw them, and chatted with them. They interacted with you, and after you left, the judges took over and graded the scripts. It took them about 1 hour, 30 minutes to 2 hours to complete that process. And by the end of the exercise, they were all unanimous, as to who and who had come tops. Of course, the criteria they evaluated the scripts on, their diction, their style. They checked things like grammar, punctuation, the use of grammar, punctuation, their ability to dissect and discuss the essay topic proper, and of course creativity, which is a flair for writing. So after having gone through all of those, it was quite unanimous who the top 5 students from the competition were. The 5th position went to Okoko Aibai Singh from Southern Ijaw Secondary School, who cannot be here today, but her principal is here. The 4th position went to David Anthony from Ekeremo, from Government Secondary School in Ekeremo. The gentleman over there. And then the 3rd position went to Godswill Ifieme Odiowe from Ijaw National Academy. The 2nd position, a lady this time, Agnes God knows, she came 2nd. And of course, the eventual and overall winner, the gentleman beside me, the Honorable Child Commissioner for today, Noel Africanos from Ijaw National Academy. We are indeed grateful for this opportunity, and while they were writing the test, we told them that in addition to the prize money that they were going to get, one of them was going to have the privilege of being commissioner for a day, and I think that gingered him to do something extra, and he wrote some extra points that gave him that prize. So, Honorable Commissioner, it is with utmost pleasure that I present to you the Child Commissioner for today.
Before the Honorable Commissioner for Education takes him to his seat, I would like the Honorable Commissioner for Information to make a brief remark. Please, let's put our hands together.
My senior colleague in council, but as far as this environment is concerned, I'm the landlord. And his dear wife, PAMSEC of the Ministry, the directors of the Ministry of Education, my very dear mommy. It's been a long time, you've not seen your son to bless your son. I recognize you. Members of the press, Ado, I'm delighted to be here today. My friend took me by surprise. He just said, oh, welcome to my office, what's wrong with you? And I came, thinking that it's just to come and at least see the place with him as he's moving in. Only to get here and I'm seeing that there's another commissioner in the Ministry of Education. If I had known, I would have brought a memo along. But I'm so delighted. I mean, this is what we are talking about in Bayelsa. More than anything else, we want our children, our youths, to be better than us. And from what we are seeing, I'm excited that we're beginning to see that a number of our youths will be better than us. And if our youths are better than us, then we will have a greater Bayelsa. Therefore, the Child Commissioner, this is a very novel, first Honorable Commissioner, let me commend you. It's a very, very novel concept. And this is the kind of thing that all of us should emulate. Why? Because the future belongs to them. And the future is today. What we are doing here today may look very, very small. But you know, there's nothing small, especially when you have God in it. This is by way grooming young people for leadership tomorrow. And what better way? If we get it right now, then we can be assured that tomorrow will be a lot better. I have faith in our young people. I have a tremendous faith and confidence in our young people. One of the things I am so proud about is, and I say it everywhere I go, that in Bayelsa, you have one of the finest, most dedicated, brilliant young men and women in Bayelsa. Of course, I have interacted with young people far and wide in this country. But coming to Bayelsa and seeing how blessed we are, with young people in this state. And that's why it's not a surprise when they go for competition. They come out as the best. But what is most outstanding in all of this is that we have a governor who believes that education is the way to go. As far as Governor Dickson is concerned, there's no other ministry. There's no Ministry of Information, there's no Ministry of Health, the only ministry is the Ministry of Education. And that is where his concern is. And that's why you're seeing the kind of investment that this government is making in education. Because if we get it right at this level, every other thing will fall into place. I'm very proud today to be here and to identify with this concept and to say that apart from congratulating, all of them are winners, by the way. But only one person will be commissioner for today. And our commissioner is here. And I'm glad that all the directors are here. So if I were you rush a memo to him now, because he will approve, you know. But let me say congratulations. Congratulations to my brother, the Ministry of Education as a whole, and the wonderful job that you've been doing.
Brother and friend, Honorable Daniel Maxim, Student Child Commissioner Education, Honorable Africanus Noel, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Education, Sir Felix Odubo, Directors of the Ministry of Education that are here with us, the Chairperson of the Teacher Training Registration and Certification Board, the parents of the winners and the parents of the Student Commissioner that is seated here, the teachers that accompany them to this program, and other visitors that are here, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. First, let me thank God today for this honor and privilege to see this entire process through. When we sat down to plan this thing, it was like a child's play. But we decided that we are celebrating our children. And when celebrating our children, it should not just end on the day and it goes just like that with the march past and every other thing that they do. So we decided to follow the program that will take us for 1 full week. And that is what we did. We ordered programs from the ministry. We had a quiz competition, we have debate, we had interactive session with the Honorable Commissioner, and that was one of the best sessions I had, where the students were talking from their heart, asking questions and getting answers. Sometimes they would say, no, we need you to talk on this other angle. We did all that, we spent that time. Then, of course, you saw the climax of it, the dancing yesterday and everything that followed. Now, before yesterday, we also did something that myself and my brother planned, just that something took him out, but we had to make sure we do it, and he was giving us all the support, the anti-cult walk. We did that because we sat down together as colleagues. He is information, I'm education. I am the one that is most affected, and he is the one that speaks for the government and also propagates the government. And we sat down and we said, no, we should do something. Let us send that message out. So it was our planning. It was not just mine, it was our planning. We designed everything, and something happened and he has to travel. And while there, like he said, he was calling in, following up, advising on how we should do it. And I must say, that to me was the climax of it, where more than 4,000 students, our children, came out from different schools. When you see the video recording of the crowd that came out, and all the directors, you can see all of them looking young. When you see Madame, you won't recognize her. We're looking like children too. We took that march from the AKK Park to the Peace Park, and we had time there to address the children. I must say that it was something else. It was something else. We decided that we want to celebrate our children. They are the best thing that can happen to anybody or any society. They are the reason why we have Bayelsa State, and they are the reason why we are hoping for a better future. Because without them, there will be no Bayelsa. Without them, there will be no future for Bayelsa State. So we decided to do all that. And we now said we are going to crown it up. For the very first time, let us have a child or student commissioner, as the case may be, that will be commissioner for education. Let him come and see how we cook that soup, how we put all the ingredients to make it happen and make it work. And work with the education team. Of course, you can see chairperson is here, the education team. And that is why we did this, so that we will honor our children. Let them also be proud that they are being welcomed, they are being appreciated by their parents. And as a government, I must say this, His Excellency has devoted so much time and resources into this sector, education, which is the core of the restoration government. And if there is no buy-in from the children, from the students, that we are doing this investment, then we are failing. And what we are doing is to show that buy-in, so that the world will see that we are not only providing infrastructure or creating the safe environment, but the children too are part of maintaining the infrastructure and also part of the safe environment that we are creating for our dear state and our nation. And that is where the concept came. And today I'm happy because when I went to St. Jude's, where they wrote the essay writing competition took place, I saw in the eyes of all those students the zeal to come out and make a difference in the world. I saw in them. By the time I got in there, some of them have written almost 2 pages. And I wondered. And I said one thing, I said, indeed, there is hope for a better Bayelsa. I haven't said all this. I want to say thank God. I want to thank my brother, the Honorable Commissioner, for information, for comment. I want to thank every other person that is here. I want to, by your permission, now lead the Child Student Commissioner Education to his seat, then bow to him and give him that very honorable handshake. Then, of course, the first runner-up and the second runner-up will take those seats there so that they can discuss education in the state.
All right, you can now make your seat as Honorable
We just yes, Commissioner. Okay. Commissioner, this is your permanent secretary. Yes.
I want to use this medium to formally thank our governor, Honorable HSDickson, Honorable Jonathan Ebuebite for his support, the educational team, and other protocols duly observed in this house. It's not every child that is born with a silver spoon, but a child can merit that spoon when he puts interest in education and other formal activities in the state or the country. The essay, as organized by our legal commissioner, Honorable Jonathan Ebuebite, is to create a space, a safe space for our children, and which is a collective responsibility for both the parents, the government, and also the children by themselves. In this society, we see that we have cultists, we have prostitutes outside. All these are caused by informal education because they are not exposed to the wider world. They are not given formal education. That's why they end up in the streets. We are very grateful for our governor, Mr. Education, and others calling him Mr. Concept, for his support, for his economical and financial support to create a space for the Bayelsa children. He have established 10 model schools in almost the local government areas in the state with well-organized infrastructures for learning, good and adequate teachers under various subject areas to impact legal education on the life of our children. Education is a great legacy and courtesy a child deserves in life to lay good foundation and help to build good blocks of life, so that in turn, when they grow up, they will see the need for education and thus create more space for other upgrowing children in the state. Thank you very much.
When the account is open.
One center on each of the senatorial districts. So we want to open up our jam centers, also help children who live in the rural areas to stay there for their exams instead of traveling to Yenagoa, because we observe too much late coming during the last jam examination. So that's why this file is here.
Prize money. And the money will be handed over to the bank.
The Honorable Commissioner for Information. First, no, let me recognize first my lovely dear wife, my one and only partner, Engineer Mrs. Ann Amalate Jonathan Robinson of Wibita. The Honorable Commissioner for Information, my brother and friend, Honorable Daniel Iwalso Maxon, the Permanent Secretary, Directors, and other top government functionaries here. Today, I want to formally present the cash prize to the winner. And you remember we said this money is for us to use it to open account for the winner so that he will run his account. Here with us we have the bank, GTB Bank, where they are all having their accounts. So the account has been opened, so I'm going to present the money to the winner. Then the winner will in turn hand over the money to his bankers to go and put in his account. That is what, I haven't signed the document. It is necessary that the money too goes to the bank account. So I'm going to formally present the money to you. This is 100,000 naira. Then in turn, you have 100,000 naira already in your account now when you present it to the bank. Thank you.
Okay, we would like you to go and receive.
Okay, thank you so much. The money will be used, placed in your account with GT Bank, and then you can have access to it anytime you want. Thank you.
Thank you. We would like from the first corner to the fourth, please rise.
On behalf of the Commissioner and the Ministry of Education, it's my honor and pleasure to present to you this cash gift of 70,000 naira as first runner-up the essay competition. Congratulations. Take it to the lecture. Smile before the cameras. Congratulations.
And
are you going to give it to the bank?
Thank you. The next to present to the second runner-up is my dear wife, Engineer Mrs. Ann Amalate Jonathan of Wibita. She will present to the second runner-up.
Well, on behalf of the Ministry of Education, the Commissioner, I'm delighted to present this cash gift to you of 50,000 naira for coming third place, second runner-up in the essay competition. This is to advise you, encourage you to push to always remain on top and be the best at what you do. May God bless you.
The next to present is
Permanent Secretary, Minister of Education. So the third runner-up.
David Anthony.
On behalf of the Ministry of Education, it's my pleasure to present this token for coming up third in the third place. Is it fourth? Okay. Okay, third runner-up. And this is to encourage you to work harder so that subsequently you can come top. Congratulations.
Incidentally, he's also from Ekedamo. Registration and Certification Board will give this prize to the fourth runner-up. The teacher should come and say, okay, the principal, yes. Come, yes,
yes, on behalf of the governor, the Minister of Education headed by Honorable Jonathan Ogoibite and the great education team, we have the pleasure to give you this as a sign of honor to the child that won this fourth runners-up in the essay competition. Tell the child that this thing is a seed. We want more from him. We want him to be a giant for Bayelsa. And let him also be an example to other children that by his performance, others will also follow suit. So bless the child in success.
Take somebody that corner too.
Yes. All right.
For reason that, oh, there is no money for the parents to send that child to school. In this government, under the able leadership of His Excellency Honorable Henry Seriake Dickson, education is free. It's not only free, it's compulsory from the primary to the secondary. And more than anything else, we're not just providing free education, we are providing everything that goes with it. Books, bags, sandals, you name it. And so there's no reason why any child in Bayelsa should be left behind. So the opportunity is there, golden opportunity for all our children. Because it's only through education that we can actually guarantee a secure future and a better tomorrow for our states and for the child and the family themselves. And so for everyone who will be listening or hearing or reading about what I'm saying today, there is no shortcut to success in today's Nigeria, because the world is now a global village and our children will be competing with their peers globally. And therefore, this advantage that government has provided, opportunity rather that government has provided for our young people to be educated, free education. Our public schools are one of the very best now in the country. Bayelsa is now rated as one of the leading states in the country in the area of education, and therefore there's no reason why any child will be left out. So my advice to every child listening to me or hearing me at this time is that if there's any time you have to be serious with your studies, it's now. If there's any time you have to give commitment, 101% commitment to your studies is now, because you have a government that is ready to back you all the way, that is ready to support your educational strides all the way. And that's the message, and that message should go out to everyone. I'm particularly concerned about our children who are not within Yenagoa, children who are outside of Yenagoa, those of them who are in the fishing ports. We're building schools everywhere in this state. There's a model school in every local government, and there are schools, public schools everywhere. So it's calling on all our parents. Don't say because there's no money to send your children to school, that's why they will be left behind. It's free. It's free, absolutely free education in Bayelsa. So encourage your son, encourage your daughters to go to school. And the books are there, so you're not paying for anything. You're not paying for a school uniform, you're not paying for books, you're not paying for shoes or sandals or bags. Government has provided all of this because we believe very strongly that every child in Bayelsa should be educated. No one should be left behind, because our future can only be guaranteed as a state if we have all our children educated, and government has made that provision available.
All right, sir.
Yeah. welcome to the Information House. Welcome. Sit down. Honorable Commissioner, you're welcome. You are members of your team.
Members of the education team.
Oh, the members of the education team?
Yes.
Where is Ms. Okala?
The state education, that's the DG.
That's the inspectorate.
Inspectorate, yes.
Okay.
Then he is the permanent secretary.
And that's what. Okay.
Yes, national.
National. That's very good.
Honorable Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Honorable Daniel Iwariso Maxim. My brother, today I'm here with members of the state education team, with my dear and loved wife, Engineer Mrs. Ann Jonathan Obuibite. With the commissioner that is before you, the child student commissioner that is here, with his education team members to come and formally introduce them to you. And after this introduction, they are going to do the formal courtesy call of stating their purpose of coming. So here with me, members of the student, children, state, Bayelsa State Education team, led by the Honorable Commissioner, Honorable Africanus Noel, and his team. I'm very happy you are seeing all of them seated here. They are the future of Bayelsa State. They've come to also learn the act of governance and see how we do it on this other side. So, having said this, I want to say thank you for the privilege to receive all of us here to be with you today, and to God be the glory.
We'll now formally invite Africanus Noel, Commissioner for Education for today, to now state the purpose for this visit. Please, let's put our hands together.
I'm here on the courtesy call to visit our legal Commissioner for Education, Honorable Jonathan Ibuebite, the Commissioner for Information, Honorable
Daniel
Iwariso Maxim, the government of Bayelsa State for their support to the education of the Bayelsa child, and for the Commission for Information for disseminating policies affecting the child and the right to education in the state and the country.
Thank you. The Honorable Commissioner of Education that will continue work tomorrow, my very good friend and brother who used to be here. I hope you guys know that he was my former boss. Look at this picture. When you graduate from here, we'll put your picture. That's why when you leave after tomorrow, your picture will be there. And his lovely wife, Engineer Amalate Obuibite. My very dear own sister, very special sister, Mrs. Ogola, who now is heading the Inspectorate Division. The Honorable Commissioner, my colleague in council, for one day, I wish you were going to extend it to speak. I've been in council on Wednesday for ESCO. And members of his education team, Ado, I welcome you all. And members of the press, let me welcome you all to the Information House. There is no information house like this in the whole of this country. And we must thank His Excellency for making that possible. And that's to underscore how important information is. And that's why I told you when we, at the Ministry of Education, I told you that, look, part of your duty will not be complete today if you don't visit this place. And I'm glad that you're here. And let me assure you that your policies will be given the widest coverage as much as possible. Thank God I have the members of the press who are here covering this, and they're hearing it from me, that we will, as much as possible, do everything we can to ensure that we let the world know that you are not just a commissioner for one day, that you are indeed a leader that we should look out for in the future. The future belongs to all of you. Very proud of all of you, because you represent the hope of Bayelsa. All of you who are sitting here today, and the several others who are out there, youth like yourself. This is the reason why we're in government, to support all of you to be better than all of us. Because that's the only way we can guarantee and secure the future of our states. And that's why I'm so proud. I want to thank my brother for this wonderful initiative. This is the first of its kind in this country. And it's a good thing that Children's Day, this activity, this program was particularly put together as a way to honor our children. And what better way to honor our children than to let them know that they too can become leaders of tomorrow. And what you're doing today is very significant in so many ways. And already I'm impressed with what you have said here today, and even your remarks at the Ministry of Education. I was saying to one of the officers of the ministry that you're such a brilliant young man, and it's not without any surprise that you emerged as the overall winner of that essay competition. Now let me say this to you as my charge to you all, that don't take this opportunity for granted. As young people, you have the golden opportunity, and I'm so glad that His Excellency has provided that platform. Because you're here by virtue of the fact that you are government scholars, being students of Ijaw National Academy, and all of you are all from Ijaw National Academy. Is that also?
Three of them.
Okay, 3 of them. Okay.
And 4 of them, and the other ones who are from our model schools.
Oh, really?
He is from the Kenemon model school.
Oh, I see. I see. You know what I'm trying to, the point I'm trying to bring out is that this policy of model schools and compulsory scholarship for our young people is working. It's working. And what is interesting to note is that if you put together a robust educational policy like the way this government has done, it has the capacity to liberate a number of our young people. A number of you, and I want to say this with all modesty, are from very humble background. A number of you are from the fishing pots, but it is this same number of children, those of you who are here, that will be the leaders of our state tomorrow. And with the kind of education that you're getting, with the investment that this government has made, that is making in your lives, it's what you need to catapult you to greatness. And that's why you must not take your studies, you must not joke with your studies. Today, as you're seated here, you're one of the very privileged few. Okay? A number of your mates now are looking up to you. They're now leading lights before them. And that's why you must do everything possible to lead the way and not let anyone down. And I know that you will not let us down in Jesus' name.
Amen.
So I'm very happy and very honored to receive you in my office. And more than anything else, we will continue to do all we can as a government to support you. That is something that His Excellency has made firm commitment about. That's why you have the Educational Development Trust Fund. So whether Governor Dickson leaves office in 2020, this program has come to stay. It's a solid policy of government that will stand the test of time, because no Bayelsa child should be left behind. Every Bayelsa child must be educated. And this is a clearing call to all our parents, that by virtue of the policy of His Excellency, especially as it concerns the issue of education in these states, parents don't have any excuse to give anymore. That is because there's no money to send the child to school. That's why the child is not in school. Education is free. It's not only free in Bayelsa, it's compulsory from primary to secondary level. And it's not just free in terms of tuition, it's free in all aspects. Books, bags, sandals, uniforms, even A number of you are also on free feeding. Is that also? Because we want to build the entire free medical facilities. Because that's the way to go. And this is one investment that is greater and better than every other investment you can ever think about in this state. So, on this one, I want to say congratulations once again and to thank you for coming to my office. Now, all of you won prizes, is that not so? Yes. And that money has gone into your account. Yes, that's the best thing to do. Because you need to also cultivate the habit of savings. Because you will need those monies. When the time comes, you will need those monies. Because you have to go from secondary school, you have to move up to university level. And when that time comes, your parents will have to fall back on those monies to support you. As part of us believe in this initiative, we are also matching those monies from the Ministry of Information. So we'll match those monies. Every prize money that you have received, you will get a matching support from us. Because they have opened their accounts, and I want to believe that is the bank manager here, or is the bank official here? No. Okay. We will get the account, your account numbers. I believe they will have account numbers. Yes. We will wire those monies to your account, so you can take it for granted. Because we believe in this initiative, and we want to support you, to encourage you. This demonstration is to show to all of you that when you work hard and you are committed, there's reward. There's reward for hard work. There's reward for hard work. So this reward, many more will come. Okay, so it's encouraged to work harder. Because when you work harder, many more recognition will come, many more awards will come, many more, rewards will come. And therefore, let me at this point end by saying that the future belongs to all of you. This state is in your hands. And I know you will not let us down. Amen. Some people let us down before. We're changing that narrative now. We're moving from militancy to intellectual giants. Because the world is looking for people with brains like yours. And so when we spend time to develop those brains, with brain power, you have conquered all. I want to thank you all, and thank you, Honorable Commissioner, and Madam, and your entourage who have accompanied them here to my office today to say that thank you for the wonderful job, thank you for the initiative. We'll continue to do all we can for the sake of our children to support any initiative that will empower and uplift our children. So this is what I want to say thank you. God bless you all.
My message to the upgrowing children is that they should develop interest in education. They should not run away from school. Like the opportunity given to us by our governor. They say opportunity comes but once, but it's your opportunity to grab this, the collective opportunity. It's your own interest to grab it. So my children viewing me, I say we should develop interest in education because it's a good foundation to become great people in the country.
Thank you very well. Thank you.